Is this thing on? Welcome back to Big Mouth and fancy seeing you here in June. A very welcome, my friends, and especially my enemies. Come in, sit down, no touching. I don't do the touching. With X-Men Dark Phoenix in theatres very soon, I thought I might try and do a kind of ranking of the other films. Now, I don't have them all, so I've got to recall them all. So if I miss one, I apologise. So I think that X-Men Origins Wolverine... I'm going to start again. It's the second one they did. You know when he loses his powers? I can't remember what it's called. I can't remember. The Wolverine. It's the Wolverine, isn't it? That is the worst film. I actually despise that film because it's boring. It literally takes, Logan's powers away from him, his ability to regenerate, and I didn't like the film. I do like the fight with the big robot-y thing in the end. That was kind of cool. But that is the worst film in the X-Men franchise. Right, first of all, as I continue, I'm not bothering with Deadpool. I'm just talking about X-Men movies, basically, all right? And I'm not getting involved with Deadpool. The Deadpool films are great and everything, but I don't really want to rank them in these films because Deadpool's going to continue within the premise of the MCU. But these, this is special because, really, Bryan Singer's X-Men lit the blue touch paper. Without what Bryan Singer did, there would be no superhero movies now. He did something incredibly ingenious with X1 and X2. Marvelous films, amazing. I think those two films are still two of the best CPMs I have ever seen. So that's why I'm looking back because I think it's a shame what happened to them. So basically, The Wolverine is a film I just don't like. So then you look at X-Men Origins, right, which is Wolverine. I actually kind of enjoy that film. It's not the best film ever, but I don't hate it like everyone else. But obviously, so we're going to say that my worst one is The Wolverine, then X-Men's Origins Wolverine. So next, what are we looking at? X-Men 3. Now, X-Men 3 was always going to be problematic because Bryan Singer was doing really well with his X-Men franchise with X1 and X2. But then his passion project came up, Superman Returns. And as a massive Superman fan, I was really excited. And I didn't care that he kind of betrayed the X-Men fan and left. Actually, I was so excited because he was the number one creative at the time everybody wanted. And we got him. Now, listen, I know the things that people say about Bryan Singer, but I'm not here to be judge, jury, and executioner. I'm just here to talk about him as a filmmaker. And what he created here was amazing. Anyway, right, so, yeah, I think X-Men 3, The Last Stand, is kind of a problematic movie. But again, I don't think it's a terrible movie. I quite enjoy it. I like what they do with the Dark Phoenix character. And what makes it as powerful for me is that this love affair, this unfrequented love between, the Dark Phoenix and Logan makes it special when she goes to kill me. Amazing. So I think I do like that film, but it's definitely down at the bottom of my list. So then what are we looking at after X-Men The Last Stand? Well, I think we've got to look at what we got here. We've got X-Men Apocalypse and Days of Future Past. The problem is, right, X-Men Apocalypse, it's a stunningly looking film. It really is. And the Apocalypse, the villain, is actually quite intimidating, and I quite liked him. So as a visual thing, I quite liked it, but the film doesn't really do anything else, unfortunately. So that's going to be next in my list. And then there's X-Men Days of Future Past. You know what? I really wanted this film to be amazing. When they were telling me what they were going to do with it, I was thinking, wow, this is going to be awesome, like the young X-Men meeting like the original X-Men. How amazing is this? I mean, having Hugh Jackman back as Logan was really important, and what they did with him was awesome. In fact, this is an okay movie. I mean, any of the movies I've said apart from The Wolverine, I don't think they're terrible movies. I think they're okay. So basically, yeah, it's X-Men Apocalypse and then X-Men Days of Future Past, because I think X-Men Days of Future Past had so much more potential to be so much better than what it was. But again, not terrible movies. So we move on. So what's next? What are we going to say next? So I know what's in my top 3. So again, I could be missing films out, but hey, sod it. It's just a fun video. This isn't official. I'm not monetized. It doesn't matter. You don't have to pay to watch this video. So if I cock this video up and miss it. So the next film is X-Men First Class. Everybody loved X-Men First Class. They really did. And it's Matthew Vaughn who directed this, wasn't it? Look, this is a good film. I don't think it's as good as everybody says it is, but I do like this. It is a brilliant film. And getting Fassbender and what's his name? I've got his bloody name now. The Scottish guy, McAvoy, right? Amazing actor, amazing. And, just brilliant. And they both were brilliant. They were brilliant young kind of Magneto and Professor X. And I really enjoyed this story. It's a really good film, but I don't think it's the best in the franchise. Some people will disagree with me, of course. So then what we're doing next, right? Basically, I'm going to go X-Men 1, X1. X1 is an amazing film. This is still, I think it may have cost less than Shazam, actually, because Shazam is one of the cheapest CBMs ever made. But I think X-Men 1 is still a film. At the time, everyone was like praising Bryan Singer, saying, how the hell did you bring this film in at such a low budget? And an amazing film, and an amazing introduction into this live-action CBM universe. It was so good. And from the off, Hugh Jackman was a great Logan, and you saw the arrogance and that. He's a beast, but there's something good inside him as well. And him not knowing his past was brilliant as well. Halle Berry, Sir Ian McKellen, Sir Patrick Stewart, absolutely fantastic. I'm a bit at a quandary here because there's 2 more films left, and I'm sure you'll correct me if I'm wrong. There's X-Men 2 and there's Logan. Logan is a masterpiece of a film. There's no question. I've seen the noir black and white version. I don't know if you've seen it. Beautiful. And I've seen the colour version as well. It is a really, really special film. But then I think it's a tie, to be honest with you, because X-Men 2, I think, is still one of the best CBMs ever made. And it finished on a cliffhanger with Jean Grey vanishing. And I thought that was one of the best. I always like my film, even my films, to end with franchises to end on a kind of a note, something that tells me I love all stories to end on a kind of what's going to happen next. Even a concluding episode, I want them to leave me asking questions. So if you remember Desperate Housewives, a new woman moves in, she's got this mysterious box and she hides it. I like that. I don't want everything to be solved. I don't want all the answers. I know a lot of people in the current generation of movie consumer and TV drama consumers want a spoon with sugar and they want it fed to them by the creative. Not me. I hate all that. So how can I be talking about Desperate Housewives? So X-Men 2 is a brilliant film. So I'm going to say X-Men 2. No. Let's go Logan. X-Men 2 is an amazing film and amazing. I still think it's one of the best CBMs ever made. But Logan, it is a freaking amazing film. It really is full of nuance, brilliant direction and writing. And Hugh Jackman and Sir Patrick Stewart should have won joint Oscars. Are you kidding me? You want to give Robert Downey Jr. an Oscar for playing a man in a tin suit, but you don't want to give it to these 2 men. Patrick Stewart, amazing. Seeing Professor X in a total different light, and his relationship with Hugh Jackman, like this guy it's like he's looking after his sick elderly dad. It wasn't, but there's so much more to this. And then the young woman, who's playing whatever she was called, right? Daphne, isn't it? Daphne, the young actor who played her brilliant, and I think Hugh had a lot to do with choosing her. But this is a unique film. Forget about box office, and obviously, I think it's the most successful R-rated movie of all time. Is it? Or it could be something else. Now, anyway, this film was amazing. It's not even about. Do you know what? It's not even about box office. This film is fucking amazing. It's a masterpiece. And shall I tell you something? We don't see many masterpieces these days. And please don't tell me Avengers Infinity War and Endgame are masterpieces. No. Those films are nothing compared to this. This is an amazing film. You can have your own opinions on Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, but this is one of the best. So my favourite X-Men film of all time is Hugh Jackman in Logan. It is really a film you can watch and watch. It was an amazing end to this, this version of Wolverine's story. And there had so much emotion in it. It's a perfect film. It really is. I mean, people these days want to kind of pick holes in everything. That is a perfect freaking film. And it was amazing. And so there's a little subject I want to carry on from that. Everyone's talking about, other actors playing the next Logan, Wolverine. And they're talking about Tom Hardy. No. Listen to me, Mr. Phage, and listen to me very carefully. You will never, ever be able to pull off another Logan. Don't do it. Rest the character. I know it's not what you and Disney do. I know Disney paid a lot of money for Fox, mainly to be able to use these characters. Use the other characters, not him. Rest him. If you do if you do a light and fluffy version of Logan, you're going to regret it. It's going to hit you in the face. I mean, look how he's messed up the Hulk. Professor Hulk, I've got to do a video about that because I'm steaming mad about Professor Hulk. My memory's going so bad, I can't even remember if I did an outrage video, a rant video about Professor Hulk. But basically, yeah, Wolverine, a.k.a. Logan, should be rested. So what do you think of my rankings? Do you agree or do you disagree? I didn't number them. We don't have to number them. I was just telling you what I like the least to the best, basically. And I enjoyed doing it. I hope you enjoyed it. Please comment down below and tell me what your rankings are. Please number them. And maybe we'll have a little conversation later on once the video uploads. I'll see you again later.